Hey guys, LevelCap here. It's December 31st, the last day of 2015, and it's been a good year. A lot of cool stuff has happened, a lot of games have come out, some successful, some not so successful. My channel's done a lot of growing, there's been a lot of cool developments, some cool milestones that we surpassed, and I wanted to use today's video to look back on these things and sort of reflect on them, and also in case you missed some of the cooler things of 2015, well, here they are. Now, the most impressive video I did production value-wise of 2015 had to be my Hardline in real life video. This is something that Replay Interactive helped me make. My friend Christian works with them. They wanted to do a cool video that would help their company sort of appeal to the gaming industry for making real life gaming ads and stuff like that. So they worked with me to make a real life live action Hardline video. It turned out awesomely. The production is amazing, and it does a really good job of saying, hey, what if Hardline was real life? What would it look like? Or what would games look like 30 years from now when the visual quality is unmistakable from real life? Now, the next high production quality video I want to talk about was called Fire Trail, and this is something that Hoodoo Operator basically made for me. I mean, I was an actor in the video and I sort of followed directions, but I have to give all the credit to him. He worked his butt off and made this epic video for Battlefield Hardline. It's just fun to watch. The cinematography is so good, and if you guys don't know who Hoodoo Operator is, you can check out his channel. He's actually been doing a lot of the trailers now for DICE. I think he did the Dragon Valley trailer for the official release of that map, and it just looks amazing. The guy is top notch, top of his game. Now, another video that I really enjoyed making and that I'm quite proud of is the comparison between red dot sights in real life versus video games, and how fundamentally different they are in terms of how they're used, and how two-eye open aiming in real life is far superior to the way that red dots are rendered in video games. And I did a video on it, and I was able to actually replicate the visual effect in real life using a focus effect on the camera, and it's just kind of cool. I was able to kind of convey what that's like, because I feel like a lot of people don't actually look down a red dot sight in real life and understand what it's like to see with both eyes open and have a red dot sight in front of you. It's a pretty amazing effect, and I'm pretty sure that half the game developers out there making red dot sights are completely unaware of this. Another video that I really liked making was an FPS Gunplay comparison, talking about weapons from Counter-Strike, Battlefield, and Call of Duty, and how the weapon damage and weapon models affect the different games' pacing and just how they play out in general. It was so much fun to make, and I'd like to eventually evolve that series into something that covers maybe map design as well, or other aspects of popular shooters. Now, tech-wise, I've personally gone through a few evolutions this year. The most fundamental one was upgrading to a 1440p monitor with a 144Hz refresh rate. Probably not the most wow factor video out there, but in terms of having an effect on my personal gaming experience, this has been one of the biggest technological upgrades I've had in a long time. I love it. I did a video on it talking about the pros and cons of 1440p and the actual difference between 1080p and your pixel density and how much more information is on screen. It's kind of interesting, and if you've ever wondered, what all the benefits are of upgrading your resolution for gaming, I do a pretty good overview in this video. Another video that I really enjoyed making was revisiting Medal of Honor Warfighter. It's an older game, and it's something that actually is special in many ways. Even though I don't think the game itself was particularly great overall as a package, and it certainly failed for valid reasons, but it made a lot of really important breakthroughs or improvements to the FPS genre that I am afraid are going to get lost on future games, just because Medal of Honor is sort of written off as generally a failure, so it's just looked at overall everything they've done as being a failure, whereas I think they did so many things incredibly well in that game that may never make it through in a future first-person shooter. So I wanted to do a video sort of focusing on those aspects of the game, because it really is an important title and had so many good design elements in it that were unfortunately overshadowed by a lot of really bad design elements. Now, in terms of milestones for LevelCapGaming, we hit 1 million subscribers in 2015, a huge milestone for me. YouTube sent this awesome giant gold-plated YouTube play button plaque. It's amazing. It's really cool in my office, and every time I look over it, I feel just an incredible sense of pride and also thankfulness. I feel lucky. I feel so lucky to be where I am and have you guys as subscribers, and that people like watching my content on YouTube. So thank you guys for helping me hit 1 million subscribers. It's really a great feeling, and I hope to be doing this for many years to come. Also, about 4 months ago, I started up a second YouTube channel. This is something I never actually planned on doing, but as some of you may know or remember from very early vlog videos, I used to run like a Lego store online. I was huge into Legos. I've always been pretty big into Legos, and it's been a very big part of my life as a hobby. I got a little bit out of it when I started doing YouTube because the hours that you have to spend gaming and video editing and all that are so insane that you don't have a lot of time for other things. But I was able to start up a Lego YouTube channel. My brother is helping me with it. He's basically running most of it, and we get to build really cool things for the channel. It's doing very well. I'm really happy with it right now. A lot of you guys have come over and subscribed to it, and we've made some incredible videos, like building a 6,000 plus part Lego AT-AT and a few other really cool custom builds. I've just been really happy with the channel in general, and it's fun sort of taking YouTube in a different direction for a change and exploring different aspects of YouTube aside from just the gaming world. Now, 2015 was a great year for first-person shooters. We've had a lot of really big titles and a lot of updates to great games that have already been around. Battlefield 4 has gone through a ton of fixes. We've seen a bunch of free content released, community map project, Dragon Valley. The majority of the big issues in Battlefield 4 have been fixed. I mean, the game is playing incredibly well now. The netcode is great, probably better than most shooters out there, which is an impressive statement to say because when the game first came out, the netcode was really bad, and now it's actually quite good. And I feel like more games should strive to be like Battlefield 4 in the netcode department. Then, of course, we got some big AAA titles. There's Halo 5, which has been pretty successful on the Xbox. Then Black Ops 3, which has been universally a huge hit because it's a Call of Duty game. And then we got Star Wars Battlefront, which people were not really sure what to think of because it's been so long since we got a Battlefront game and DICE was doing something different with it. Overall, it's been successful. I think from a sales standpoint, people have been a little bit underwhelmed with the quantity of content, but the fidelity is amazing, and I'm really looking forward to more content coming out for that game. Blizzard released an alpha and then beta with Overwatch. People have played it, streamed it. It's been a lot of fun. The game is already incredibly well polished and I think has a big esports shooter. And then, of course, we've got Rainbow Six Siege, which is something that I have been addicted to for a long time. And this is one of those games that sort of defies the game rating system because most game reviewers have given it like a 6 out of 10 or a 7 out of 10 because it is just riddled with bugs, but the gameplay is so much fun that I find myself playing it non-stop. And so it's just one of those games where you're like, yeah, I can't deny this game's got a lot of problems with it. The development was not a flawless, seamless process, but it's so much fun that I can't stop playing it. So even though it is sort of like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 type rating game, it's still incredibly fun, and I hope Ubisoft sticks with this and really fixes the performance issues and the server issues and the netcode and weapon balance and all of that stuff. But game, ton of potential, could be a really big esports game if they make the necessary changes. Then, of course, there's the games that weren't quite so successful. There is sort of this weird asymmetrical thing going on with Evolve, and a few other titles wanted to mimic that. I'm not really sure why. Asymmetrical gameplay seems like a pretty far cry from a game that's going to be successful in the esports realm, but whatever, it came, it went. I don't think anybody plays it anymore. And then we also got Battlefield Hardline. Now, I feel really bad calling Hardline a failure because it did all right on consoles for a bit, but I think it only did all right because it came out before all the big AAA titles came out, the really good first-person shooters, and then people stopped playing it. It was a very risky experiment trying to put Battlefield into a cops and criminals game, and ultimately it felt like the game had an identity crisis. They were trying to continue to implement that traditional Battlefield combat and gameplay into a setting that made absolutely no sense for it. From an actual game standpoint, it was kind of fun, but I think it really just did suffer too much from the thematic issues overall to be successful on PC. Not to mention it wasn't really much of a technology upgrade in any way. Even though they made some good changes and updates to the Battlefield franchise, they were mostly pretty small in the big picture. Now, Star Citizen is one of those games that I just love to hear about and read about and see the updates on. It's not even out yet. The game's been in production forever. We've seen some very big updates in 2015, and 2016 supposedly is when they're going to release the single-player module for the game. I'm extremely excited for that if it actually comes out in 2016. I think everybody's extremely skeptical of any launch dates with that game right now. The devs have said repeatedly that they only want to launch stuff when it's done and ready to go. So they're taking a very Blizzard approach to things, which can be a little nerve-wracking for the fan base, but ultimately it should yield a good product. Anyway, that's my 2015 wrap-up video. I hope you guys had a good year. I certainly did, and I'm very much looking forward to 2016. Stay tuned, of course, for my predictions of 2016 games. You can even go back and check out my 2015 game prediction for first-person shooters and see which ones succeeded and see which ones failed. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.